Assalamu alaikum. Um, so this weekend, I was going out hiking with the family, and I promised the family to be as disconnected as possible. And in the middle of the night, when we were camping, I received a message. Somebody sent me a TikTok video, and I don't have TikTok, so I had to create a new account. And there is this like TikTok video about Penny that went pretty viral. So I had two options. Now I was gonna introduce myself, but I'm gonna start with the boring introduction, and then I will show you the TikTok. I asked my son, he's 6. I told him this is my introduction, and I showed him the TikTok video, and he said my introduction is really boring, and I should just start with the TikTok video. So I'm gonna start with the boring introduction and then move to the TikTok video. So my name is Iyad, and I'm one of the co-founders of Penny Software, and I'm the CEO. I serve on the board of multiple companies, including Saco, which is a public company in Saudi Arabia, Gayat Hub, which is a procurement as a service company. I am a member of the 2030 leaders at MISC, Prince Mohammed bin Salman Foundation. And before I co-founded Penny, I was the general manager in Kareem in Saudi Arabia. And I joined Kareem when it was in its early days in Saudi, and I left after the $3 billion acquisition. So what is Penny? Penny is an enterprise software for procurement management. We don't actually do procurement. We provide the technology, the enterprise technology that digitizes procurement. Now, today we serve customers across multiple industries and multiple countries. We have customers from the education space, tech space, real estate, oil and gas, you name it. So that was the boring introduction. Now I want to show you the TikTok video, which I was told that it's a better introduction than what I can do. So hopefully the sound works.
Are building a global enterprise software company from Saudi Arabia and competing with Oracle and SAP. Meet Iyad and Majid Aldalooj, the founders of Penny Software. While pursuing his bachelor's and master's in the US, Iyad Aldalooj patented a remote control vent cover and started an e-commerce company called Pasu Tech to sell it online. Iyad managed to secure accounts with clients such as Walmart and Home Depot. He then went back to Saudi and joined Kareem as the general manager. Meanwhile, Majid co-founded a company called Six Directions Trading, which supplied equipment to the oil and gas sector, but they started noticing multiple issues with the $6 billion procurement market. So in 2020, the brothers joined forces with Mohammed Ibrahim and founded Penny Software. Penny is a smart digital platform that combines procurement tasks into one streamlined system. The software is designed to help businesses gain full visibility and control over their spending. Penny raised $6 million within the first 2 years of its launch and a total of $10 million in VC funding. Today, Penny is simplifying procurement for thousands of businesses across the world and has also introduced its own B2B marketplace. The Aldalooj brothers saw a problem and built an innovative solution from scratch. Now, their solution empowers other businesses to reach their full potential.
So thank you. So our marketing team quantified that video got overall 3 million views across multiple channels. Was really great. We didn't know about this. So our vision for Penny is to build a world-class global software brand that can inspire. And I want to very quick tell you about the story of why we find it Penny and the purpose behind it. So after the Kareem experience and the global, the big acquisition of Kareem, what we wanted to do is to have a vision that we can wholeheartedly stick to, and a purpose that we can believe in. And the purpose that we truly believed in as co-founders is to build a global brand from this region to the world and build a B2B software brand that can be a large enterprise software brand from this region to the world. That's not the goal that we can achieve in 1 year or 2 year, 3 year, or even 10. We're talking about 30 years a plus goal. We're talking about building a company that can one day literally compete with SAP, Oracle, and Microsoft. And this is the goal. This is the higher purpose. And this is why we started Penny. Today, we're 3 years old into the journey, and we're serving customers across all over the world. In 2023, we've had companies using Penny from over 95 countries around the world. These are some of the users that we see on a daily basis using Penny software. We've managed over $100 million in spend management, and this year we're forecasting over $1 billion. So why am I here? I want to share with you our experience and our SaaS journey. We've made a lot of mistakes, so my goal is to share with you the learnings and put together frameworks that have helped us internally in Penny in navigating those challenges. So in the B2B SaaS journey, so there's this famous framework by David Skock. I'll start with it, and then I will share with you our framework. So David Skock put the journey in 3 stages. Right? So first, you go to the stage where you're searching for the product market fit. This is when you have the early stage product, and in that stage, you have a hypothesis. You test that the hypothesis. You prove that it has value. You talk to people who are interested, and they will tell you, subject matter expert, that they will tell you, you know what, this has value. And prove it can be sold, because a lot of people in the startup journey will tell you, yeah, man, this is a great idea. Like you should definitely do this. But will they buy it? They're probably not buy it. So you need to prove that somebody is actually going to pay for the product that you're providing. And once you do this, you pass sort of like the foundation stage, and you go to the second stage, which is the search for repeatability and scalability, which is you find your repeatable sales motion all the way to making it profitable. And that takes you to the third stage, which is the scalability. Now, you can find this online if you Google David Skock B2B model. Today, I wanna talk about the things that a lot of people don't talk about, and as a SaaS founder, I want to talk about those things. So any successful SaaS company will have what they call the hockey stick trajectory. So this is a successful model between the years you spend in building that SaaS company and the ARR. A successful story should look like a hockey stick, and it looks like a hockey stick when you have that sort of like an inflection point. Now, in B2C, you get that inflection point when you hit a product market fit. So you build MVP until you hit the product market fit, it clicks. And with clicks, this is the inflection point, right? Unfortunately, this is not the case in B2B. Unfortunately, a lot of founders are applying B2C models to B2B. I hate to break it to you, in B2B, even when you have a product market fit, it does not mean that people are going to pull the product. You hear this all the time. You hear people say, you have a product market fit when you don't have to sell your product. Customers were going to be pulling the product. Well, that might work in B2C, does not work in B2B, especially when it comes to the enterprise kind of level of B2B. So in the hockey stick today, I want to talk about, if we zoom in, you see at the bottom, this is what I call like the rubber for the broom basket. So if you imagine that this is a broom basket, like this little rubber, I want to talk about this because nobody talks about it. So let's zoom in. This is before the inflection point. So you spend time searching for a product market fit. And when how do you, like, let me talk about this rubber of the broom basket, right? This could cost you a couple years and probably a lot of money, because in B2B, you need to build a product and you need to work with very few customers and convince those few customers, and you will build the product with them. The product is not gonna fall from the sky. You'll have to build it with them. And that might take a few years before you figure out what is that one repeatable product that you can scale. And that's when you hit the product market fit. The mistake here is to think that once you hit that, you're going to fly. Well, that's not going to happen in B2B. It's not going to be the hockey stick. It's going to be the bottom of the hockey stick. Why is that? Because when you hit the product market fit in B2B, you still have no reputation. And imagine you're selling to Qatar Airways, right? We say, well, look, well, I have a product. They have the need. Do you think they're gonna buy? No. They say, like, show me who are your customers. And if you don't have customers in their level, they're probably not gonna buy. So it will take you a long time to build that reputation. It will take you a long time to validate your reputation and make sure that your customers, your other customers, can be your advocate. Well, it's probably going to take a few years, right? So when you hit the product market fit, you're actually starting the bottom of the hockey stick. You hit the inflection point when you have a product market fit, repeatable product, scalable product, that you build a brand and that is validated. And once you have that brand and repeatability, now customers want to talk to you. Now the big corporates are going to talk to you because you have validated that reputation and the brand awareness. In that journey, I want to today talk about the zone of death. In your way, you're going to come across a few zones of death. Now, I'll tell you from our experience. So the first zone of death, suppose that you start by having some pre-seed funding, self-funding, whatever. You started. You have that money that gets you started. The problem is, on your journey, and before finding the product market fit, here's the first zone of death. On your journey, you as a founder, you can see that there's a progress. You know there's a progress, right? But there is no real validation of product market fit yet. You see it in the horizon, but there's no validation. The problem is you run out of oxygen. You run out of money. And this is the first zone of death. Do not run out of money at this stage. And I'll tell you how to navigate this. Now, the second zone of death is when you hit the product market fit, you survive the first zone of death, and you hit the product market fit, and now you see things are growing, but they're not inflection point, right? So you face the second zone of death. Now, you survived the first one. Probably you found investors who funded you for the seed round or pre-series A round, and now you run out of money again, and now you want to raise your Series A. The problem is you now have the product market fit, but you don't have enough results for a Series A. It's a very awkward position to be in because you're not there yet. And the reason why, because investors usually see B2C. And to them, if you don't hit the inflection point, then you don't have product market fit. But you know you do, but you're not there yet because now you are building your brand. You are building your reputation. So this is the second zone of death you need to survive. Now, once you survive it, you can fly. There will be other zone of death. I just don't know about them, so I cannot tell you about them. I can tell you about what we know. Now, how do you survive this? So I have only 5 minutes. I want to get to the juice of it. So navigating the journey, make sure that in building a B2B SaaS software, your first years, put two parameters. The first parameter is everything you spend on product and engineering. And the second parameter is everything you spend on sales and marketing. I mean everything. I mean your payroll for the sales team, for the marketing team, whatever you paid for marketing, everything, put it in one parameter, and everything on product and engineering, put it on another parameter. Make sure that you do not scale sales and engineering before you build your product. Make sure that that parameter is a healthy parameter. Sounds obvious. You won't believe how many founders I see that they don't even have the product they're spending on sales and marketing. That's the zone of death is going to hit them for sure because they run out of money, right? And then once you get to the inflection point, you switch. You spend more on sales and marketing than product and engineering. Of course, the product and engineering from absolute value, it will grow, but from a ratio, it will decrease. Now, how do you identify this? So at Penny, I have 3 minutes. At Penny, we put together a model, call it the Efficacy Model. It's really helped us. So I wanna share with you the Efficacy Model, and hopefully this proves valuable to you. So what is the Efficacy Model? Now, we talked about this dilemma, right? How do you get from 0 to 1? First of all, in B2B, there's a long deal closing cycle. To close one customer, it might take 3 months to 1 year, right? Which means that the feedback loop is very slow, which means that to build that brand reputation, you will need a couple of years, right? If closing one customer can take 3 months to a year, imagine like building multiple customers, validating it, building the reputation. It's a long journey. So how do you navigate this journey? So the efficacy model metrics, first you have two ratios. The first, so you need to know that you put in a parameter everything you spend on sales and marketing, and the second parameter, product and engineering, or better off, everything else in one parameter. Simplify it. One, all your spend, and the other one, sales and marketing. Two ratios to care about. The first ratio is the sales and marketing ratio, which means how much you spend on sales and marketing by all other expenses. First ratio. Second ratio, the efficacy ratio. Very, very important ratio, which is how much you bring in new ARR, new revenue, to the how much you spend on sales and marketing. Why is this so important? Because the sales and marketing ratio should only grow in a positive correlation with the efficacy ratio. So once you achieve an efficacy ratio of 0.5, you can spend 0.5. If you achieve 1, you can achieve 1. At some point, you will scale it, right? Let me show you this. So bear with me. This looks really boring, but bear with me. So I was told that I have a laser. I'm not sure if I can use it. Yeah, never mind. So let's take the first year, right? And this company, you're just getting started, right? So the first year, you spent $60,000 on sales and marketing, $300,000 on all other expenses. Only two parameters. Simplify it, right? Right? So your sales and marketing ratio is 20%. First year, right? And you generated $30,000, right? $30,000 of revenue. So your efficacy ratio is 0.5. Why? You spent 60,000, you generated 30,000. So your efficacy ratio is 0.5. This is so important to pay attention to, because now you can plan for next year. Next year, make sure that your marketing, sales and marketing budget is 0.5. So your sales and marketing budget is 0.5 out of the overall expenses. So you can put 500 to 1 million. So next year, you can say, I'm going to allocate $500,000, and all the other expenses is 1 million. Total expenses, 1.5 million. And see how you perform. If you bring, let's say, 350 of a new ARR, now your efficacy ratio is 0.7. Now, if you achieve 0.7, you can increase your sales and marketing ratio to 0.7. Always do it in correlation. Because if you don't, then you are spending more money without validating the efficacy of that spend. The efficacy of that spend depends a lot on the reputation you build in the market, the validation, all of that. Don't rush it. I need to rush it because I run out of time before they pull me back. Thank you very much. Thank you.